is now. I think I was a part of a foundation that people like Tamika Catchings, Breon January, Kareem McChrist.
The Indiana Fever just authored a story that few could have imagined 3 months ago. In a league where the spotlight had been glued to Caitlin Clark since the moment she stepped onto the court, the narrative seemed obvious. No Clark, no Fever. But on a night in early August, with their superstars still sidelined by a stubborn groin injury, this team not only survived, they made history. For the first time since 2015, the Fever climbed to 4 games above .500. And they did it in a fashion that sent a shockwave through the WNBA. 4 franchise records shattered in a single night. 2 unexpected heroes emerging from the shadows, and a team that was once considered a one-woman show, proving they were far more than anyone realized. The stage was set in Dallas, under the bright lights of American Airlines Center, home of the Mavericks. The Wings, led by rookie phenom Paige Bueckers, were desperate. They had dropped 8 of their last 10 games and needed a win to stop the bleeding. Across from them stood a Fever team riding a quiet wave of momentum. Winning games they weren't supposed to win, but still carrying the label of underdogs without their star. Caitlin Clark sat on the sideline for her 6th straight game, dressed in street clothes, a silent reminder of the void her absence created. The narrative practically wrote itself. Dallas would exploit the hole in Indiana's lineup and walk away with a comfortable win. But basketball has a way of humbling assumptions, and on this night, it would deliver a script no one saw coming. From the opening tip, the Fever's energy was undeniable. They played with a defiance that practically radiated from the floor. This wasn't a team tiptoeing into survival mode. They were here to make a statement. Kelsey Mitchell, the veteran and emotional anchor of the team, seized control from the very first possession. She attacked the rim with a confidence that sent a clear message. Indiana wasn't going to wait around for Clark to carry them. Mitchell had been quietly building a season worthy of headlines, and against Dallas, she was relentless. Her drives sliced through the defense, her jumpers landed with precision, and her leadership set the tone for everything that followed. By the end of the night, she had 23 points on 9 of 19 shooting, extending her reign as the league's most consistent scorer after the All-Star break. Logging her 13th 20-point game of the season, the Wings tried to counter behind Bueckers, and to her credit, she delivered flashes of brilliance. She dropped 22 points, added 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals, reminding everyone why she was considered a 3-level scorer even in her first professional season. But she was alone on an island. Her teammates struggled to find rhythm, and the pressure began to mount. Most glaring was the collapse of Dejanai Carrington, the reigning most improved player, who endured a nightmare performance. She scored just 4 points, turned the ball over 5 times, and capped her night with an ill-advised heave at the end. Of the third quarter, that drew groans from the crowd and sent social media into a frenzy. Meanwhile, the free throw disparity became a point of contention. With Dallas shooting 25 freebies to Indiana's 13, fans accused Bueckers of selling contact and flopping for calls. Well, even Wings head coach Chris Klages couldn't hide her frustration with the officiating. But the truth was clear. Indiana's energy, execution, and depth were overwhelming Dallas in ways the box score couldn't fully capture. The real twist in the story came from 2 players who weren't even on the roster at the start of the season: Ari McDonald and Chloe Bibby. McDonald's journey read like the plot of a sports movie. She opened the season without a team, unsigned and overlooked, surviving on the fringes of the league. On June 25th, Indiana gave her a lifeline with a rest-of-season contract. And in just a few short weeks, she transformed into the heartbeat of their offense. Against Dallas, she played like she'd been in a Fever jersey her entire career, dropping 15 points, dishing 6 assists, and orchestrating the tempo with poise well beyond her years. She knew when to push, when to slow down, and exactly how to get her teammates in the right spots. Coach Stephanie White praised her point guard mentality and incredible awareness, while Kelsey Mitchell went even further, calling her a blessing in disguise, a player who stepped into a void that few believed could be filled. Then there was Chloe Bibby, mid-season pickup who needed only a handful of minutes to leave her mark on the game. She buried 2 crucial three-pointers off the bench, each one landing like a gut punch to Dallas's momentum. More importantly, she stretched the floor in a way Indiana had been missing, opening lanes for Mitchell and Aaliyah Boston to operate. With ease, Bibby's presence was so impactful that after just 2 games, the Fever signed her to a rest-of-season contract. Coach White summed it up perfectly. She gives us a different look from that forward position with her ability to stretch. The floor, she'll fit in right away. It was the kind of seamless integration that changes the chemistry of a team. Overnight, but this game wasn't just about unexpected heroes or a single win. It was about history. 4 records fell in one night, each one a testament to how much this Fever team had grown. First, Aaliyah Boston and Natasha Howard became the first WNBA teammates ever to record at least 10 points. 10 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals, each in the same game. Boston finished with 12 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, and a block while Howard countered with 11 points. A career-high 16 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, and a block. Their dominance in the front court was suffocating, turning Dallas's missed shots into second chance opportunities for Indiana and smothering any hope of an interior presence for the Wings. Second, Kelsey Mitchell continued her historic scoring pace, logging more 20-point games after the All-Star break than any other player in the league. Her consistency has been the glue of this team, keeping their offense alive during stretches when other stars might falter. Third, Chloe Bibby etched her name into the record books as the first Fever player ever to hit multiple three-pointers in each of her first 3 games with the team. And finally, Ari McDonald reached 150 points and 50 assists faster than all. But 2 players in franchise history, Caitlin Clark and Tamika Catchings. For a player who started the season on the outside looking in, that achievement was nothing short of remarkable. When the final buzzer sounded, the Fever had secured an 88-78 victory, a box score full of milestones, and a locker room brimming with belief. In the post-game interviews, you could feel the shift in energy. Kelsey Mitchell's praise for McDonald calling her a blessing in disguise was more than just a compliment. It was an acknowledgement that this team had found something real, a chemistry born out of adversity and roster upheaval. Mitchell hinted at how much better the team felt after recent moves, how the new additions weren't just filling gaps, they were changing the team's identity. Coach White echoed the sentiment, describing her players as resilient and united, embracing an us-versus-the-world mentality that had carried them through Clark's absence and into the heart of the playoff race. The Fever now stand as a team transformed. What was once labeled a one-woman show has become a roster full of weapons, each player embracing their role and thriving under the pressure of expectation. Boston and Howard dominate the paint. Mitchell continues to be the steady scoring force. Donald and Bibby have injected life, energy, and versatility into a team that needed it most. And looming over it all is the eventual return of Caitlin Clark, the superstar whose presence will only elevate this newfound chemistry to another level for records in one night. A statement win without their franchise player. A team that's no longer defined by survival, but by ambition. The Indiana Fever have turned doubt into fuel, and in doing so, they've announced themselves as a legitimate threat in 2025. If you've got the Fever, this is the time to let it be known. Drop a comment below saying, "I've got the Fever." And let us know which of these record-breaking performances blew you away the most. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Because if this game was any indication, the best is yet to come in Indiana.